I'm in the house. I'm in the house. The matter of fact, no, I don't. I got the wrong one in there. I'm talking about I got it and I don't have it. Here we go. Here we go. Bingo. Nah. A lot of people, again, just like with Diodorus siculus, exposed, and not just Diodorus siculus, but many of the Greeks had exposed, how the ancient Egyptians were black. Okay, they were not Caucasians. You understand? Not at the slightest. And so the things that we say, it may seem far fetched because the information has been hidden from you, so you could not have access to it. Now, the one thing I understood when I saw the runes, and I got off into the Nordic gods, and first I got off through the comic books. I used to get the little Thor comic books, and back in the day when I was young, and I say, damn, and it led me because I was already an avid reader, even back when, even into elementary. I was already an avid reader. My strength was already history, it was already social studies, geography. Those were already my strengths, even back then. You see, and so I say, well, let me go get some books out the library so I can go deeper. But the thing is, the comic books was pretty heavy. You understand what I'm saying? They were pretty heavy, being in step with the history. Yeah, yeah, they gave them power, but it was pretty much in step. And so I say, okay, now, as I started to, get off into the African studies, you could obviously see that the runes is, a form of a codified language. You see, and it's a form of a codified language, much like the pictographs of the Medu. Okay, it's some but it's along that same line, and I say, well, I'm thinking to myself, well, I say, well, damn, what is 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 there, because understanding George G.M. James when he said that that the ancient Egyptians had taken, pretty much like what Diodorus Siculus said, that the Egyptians had established institutions all over the known world. You see what I'm saying? Over the matter of fact, let me put. Okay, let's see if I can get it in there. And they always tell, come on, get it, give it up, AI. Don't, in there complaining and already. Okay, they put it in. Yeah, he put it in there. I'm talking about AI. So let me put it in here. Because George G.M. James bust their head with that stolen legacy. He bust their head. He did. He bust their head. They've been crying for they've been crying forever since that damn time. You feel me? Since that time. Let me get it in here. Let me get it in here. No, it says right here. Let me get it. Let me get it up on my screen. Says nations. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Here. Nations, James says had Egyptian minor lodges. So in Stolen Legacy, especially chapters 1 through 3, James states that Egypt established satellite mystery centers in the following regions. Okay. In the following regions: Ethiopia, number one, considered by James to be closely connected with Egypt, sometimes treated as a partner civilization or an extension of the same sacred tradition, often presented as older or equally ancient in wisdom. Chaldea, Babylonia. James says Egyptian philosophy spread eastward to Chaldea, in which the Chaldeans preserved astronomy, mathematics, sacred cosmology. He views Chaldean wisdom as derived from Egyptian sources. He's not the only one that says that either. So, they mad at George G.M. James. India, linked to metaphysics, ascetic traditions, uh, mysticism. James connects India to Egyptian wisdom via ancient migrations, priestly transmission. This aligns with traditions about Osiris, Dionysus traveling to India. Okay. Again, Crete, especially in connection with Minos, early Aegean civilization. James argues Egyptian ideas entered Europe through Crete. Okay. James argues Egyptian ideas entered Europe through Crete. Asia Minor includes regions later known as Ionia, Lydia, Phrygia, 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 whatever, and I believe there's just some aspects of the Greeks. These areas are important because Greek philosophers later studied there. They acted as bridges between Egypt and Greece. Okay. So that's what he was saying, that they was more, which is Turkey. You see, when they say Ionia and Lydia and all the Turkey, modern day Turkey, they went there first. They went there first. And so that's very critical that we understand that, because that's where they had all them damn ecumenical conferences, when they was putting Christianity together. See, nobody really brings that up, that was a stronghold of the Egyptian mystery system long before Byzantine and all of that. That was a stronghold, and that those what they call Ion, Ion, Iona, Iona, and Lydia. All of those areas is where them early Greek philosophers. That's where they come from. They didn't actually come from Greece, but they came because what they call Asia Minor or Turkey, it was always closer to Greece in culture and shit and this, that, and the third. So the Byzantine, even though they was Romans, they spoke Greek. You see, they spoke Greek. And so understand that. So a lot of them early Greek philosophers got their education in Iona. Okay. You see, that's where they got, in Lydia. That's where they got their education from, and took it to Greece. Okay, and took it to Greece. Okay. Greece, especially, James emphasizes Greece as a late recipient, not an originator. He says Egyptian lodges or instruction influenced Athens, Delphi, okay, Samothrace, Eleusis. Okay, Greek philosophers, he claims, were trained directly or indirectly in Egyptian mystery schools. it ain't that he claims, it's backed up. What the fuck he did? What if he claim? Is it true? Shit. Pythagoras, Plato, Thales, Democritus, Democritus, all were, and we can look that up. So how James defined, and so, but also that they even went up further. So when we talk about the Vikings and the Medu, because a lot of people is saying that language that they have could come, a lot of people say it was Etruscan base. When we start talking about the Viking language, a lot of people is saying that is Etruscan based. Those are Ethiopians in Europe. Okay. And we're gonna look at some of the deities and things of that nature and show and prove. Because when we let's jump right into it. When you talk about Thor, you're talking about Horus. You can see Hor inside of Thor. Okay. You can see Thor Hor, Hor, which is Horus. So Thor is Horus. Okay, Thor is Horus, and a lot of people, let's talk about when you see uh when you look at the bark or the ark of Ra, when Ra sets and he sails through the celestial Nile at night, he's on his bark, and Apep, while it's nighttime, Apep is always trying to attack Ra. You see, Apep is always trying to attack Ra, and you see Set, you will see Horus at the front of the ark with a spear, he, attacking Apep, defending Ra. Now, when you go into the story of Ragnarok, you see that that's the end of the world for the Vikings, the Nordic gods. Where they fight and each god match up with an adversary. I think Odin fights. I believe Odin might have fought Surtur, which was the chief fire demon. I know Thor matched up on the Midgard serpent. You see, he fought the Midgard serpent, and it was this serpent so large that his whole body could circle the earth. And then so he battled that serpent at the end of the world, Ragnarok. So when you see Thor is Hor, which is Horus, and that the Midgard serpent is Apep. People got to see this shit is real. This is not no man. Listen here, you can find damn near the Egyptian mythological spiritual system damn near in every damn culture on the planet almost. It is it and if when you step back and see it. Now, another thing is the rune stone. A lot of people, and I'm looking because I've been attacking this AI shit, putting questions in to kind of fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, they know that the Egyptians had the capabilities of coming across the water, but they say that just because they had the capabilities don't mean they did it. They'll try to find anything to not acknowledge that the ancient world had globalized to a large extent, meaning that they were traveling back and forth to all the other civilizations. They want to make it seem like each civilization grew up of its own, and had little to no connection, especially coming across to the Americas. They most definitely don't want to acknowledge that Africans came across uh to the Americas at all. Only in during the time, because they are embarrassed how far behind in civilization, that they are. Real talk. Now I was asking another question that kind of, but I'm gonna stick to this right quick. Let me get in here on the Vikings. Let me get here on the Vikings real quick. I'm gonna show you all these rune stones. Will just look just like Egyptian stela. You see, look just like an Egyptian stela. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Okay, let me get it up here for y'all. Okay. Now what you see right there, let me make sure it's in there good. Okay, let me take that out of here. Now on the left and the right is what you see is what they call Egyptian stela. And it's a stone slab with a decree on it. It could be a royal decree. It could be it could be a litany, meaning to a great king, paying homage to a deity. It could be also a border. It symbolize. It could be a border marker of sacred grounds. You see, they use it today for the tombstone. It stand to the day. In the middle, you see the rune stone. Okay, where you can find stella all over the world. Okay, what's critical is that even when coming to the Americas, people don't want to acknowledge that, but it's true. You see, this is one of I feel is heavy. Even coming to the Americas, because you see the one in the middle is a stela from the Olmec Mayan. You see the Medu from the Olmec Medu in the middle. And what's so critical about it, even the shape of the damn stela is the same. Even when you see it rounded off at the top. Now there's other types of stela. You see, there's other types of stela, but even to the fact that it's rounded off at the top, okay, that's a consistency. You understand that it has, there's been a very intimate relationship. This is not just no coincidence because there's other things that go along with that we know that is not a coincidence. Okay. And so you see you see right there the Mayan stela and then the runes. Let me see. Let me get another rune up here. Here's another rune. These are rune stones, okay? Which is, technically Egyptian stela. Well, they're not, Egyptian, but they're, a replica, a Viking replica of an Egyptian stela. Okay, you're not gonna have this similarity all over the world. That means the world was globalized. There was standards being taught all over the world, and the oldest replicas of what you call a rune stone, because the Medunetta is runes. When you look at, especially the symbols, when you look at the symbols, you see those are runes. That's what they are. Okay. And so, it's clear that even there, that there's a connection that, and many people believe that the Phoenicians and the Egyptians had traveled deep up there into Europe. And so much of what they were replicating was what they saw when they got there. Okay. Many of the ancient Egyptians, Phoenicians which many people believe was the Druids, taught the Druids. You see what I'm saying? And that the Druids were Africans. That's really what it is. that what they call the Druids were actually Egyptian priests, Phoenician priests that had went and established lodges all over the world. Okay. And so this is just a little taste to show y'all that I'm on top of my game. Ain't no fleeing from me. I know I don't let no, and that's why that AI and shit is really it's still it's good to challenge yourself. It's more good to challenge yourself than anything. You know what I'm saying? I put the right shit in there to really challenge, to challenge myself, and even take it to the AI. It backtrack, a lot of times. It'll backtrack when you put that pressure on his ass, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, family, and so the runes being used for divination. The fact that they use the runes for divination and they use the Medu Netta the same way. A lot of people, don't, are not recognizing that. And so when we get off into it, that Odin, and when you look at Odin, Odin is Tahuti. That's who Odin is. Odin is Tahuti. When you look at the story, Thor is Horus. Odin, the chief god, is Tahuti because Odin is the one that brought the runes to the gods and humans. It was Odin, the chief god. And so yes, and when you look at the matter of fact, let me show and prove. Let me show and prove. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Now watch he be Tahuti. If they're not Tahuti, I'm gonna press their ass. Let me see. I'm gonna press their ass. I'm gonna see. It said it. There you go. There you go. It said it. It said it. Hold on. I don't know why it ain't showing up. It said this nigga dropping too much heavy mental on it. Okay, there you go. It popped right up. It says right there. It says short. I asked it what Egyptian god would Odin be, and it says there's no one-to-one Egyptian equivalent of Odin, but the closest match is Thoth, Tahuti, with Osiris as a second parallel. Okay, so right there you see that it's Tahuti. So and because Tahuti also brought the Medu Netta and Thor, I mean Odin brought the runes to humanity. So that's the equivalent. And there's other equivalents there that is not gonna happen just by no damn coincidence. There's a lot of Egyptian deities names in the Viking pantheon. I'm gonna bring that up at a later time. I'm gonna bring that up at a later time. This is just we're gonna give you a little eye opener today. But we're gonna go as we move into the week at the weekend, we're gonna touch it on a deeper level. So y'all just be prepared for that. Okay. Just be prepared for that. That's right. Well, there's some it's some it's more than one parallel. Okay. Is more than one parallel. In Thor is horror. But Shango, but also they're set. You see what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with storms. You're dealing with storms. So Thor is also set. It's some set in there too. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, sir. It's some set in there too. So it's really not no one deity, okay, that you can compare them to. It's more than one. This Jay Wade five, and he keeps asking me, "Who am I? Who am I supposed to be?" You said I'm Seti. Who you want me to be? Who did you think you was coming to see, brother? Or are you a brother? What's the problem? Yeah, yeah. I must have shocked his ass. He's saying, "Damn." Yeah, but when you dealing with Shango, you dealing with Set. Storms too. El, the god El. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll break. Yeah, we'll break. But sometimes there'd be more than one similarity with this deity. That's why they say with Odin, you got some Osiris and you got some Tahuti because he brought the runes, but he was also crucified. Say, I got 5 of your DVDs, brother. Okay, well, it's a whole lot more. Yeah, it's a whole lot more. You feel what I'm saying? It's a whole lot more. But anyway, family, we're gonna move on. Yeah, Jay, he said, "Why are you linked through the White House?" I don't know what you talking about, man. I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you talking about. Explain to me that. I want to hear that one. That's explain to me, Jake, what you talking about. Explain to me that. Yeah, explain to me. I want to hear this one myself. You hear this right? He said I'm linked through the White House. Explain to me that, and how did you know that, and how did you find out something like that? You see, your live stream was linked through a banner on the White House website. Really? I would like to know that my damn self. Put the link in there. I want to see. I checked the website randomly and saw this video. Is you serious? Put the link in there so I can see it. I would like to see that my damn self. They saying that is linked. Uh, Give me the link, Ray. It's gone now, but it's apparently been linking several live streams. You got screenshots? Send it to me. General Seti at yahoo.com. Send it to me. Cause I mean, goddamn, I just put the damn live stream up, damn near. You took a live, well, send it to me. I want just General Seti at yahoo.com. Send it to me ASAP. I want to see that. I want to see that. That's crazy. I just made this shit up less than 30 minutes ago. I say, let me fucking you know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. That's crazy than a motherfucker. And send me the link to that website. Okay, send me the link, send me the screenshots, and send me the link to the website too. Cause I want to go on this motherfucker. That's wild. Ray, you said you saw it too? That's weird than a motherfucker. Hmm. Ain't that something? All right, family. Well, it don't make no motherfucking difference. I ain't worried about it. If I've been on the list, I've been on the list. I ain't worried about it. You feel what I'm saying? All right, family. It's changed now. I bet it is, but I just want to be able. Brother said your information is king. That's why. You already know I'll be hitting hard. But anyway, family, we'll be black. We'll be black, family. Come, just sent it. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. But I'm coming back with the next video, and stay tuned, family. Get over there to Patreon. We got that file. Black Power. Oh, I didn't see it. I was answering you. Oh, okay. Okay, Ray. Well, I'm gonna check it out, and I'll be right back, family. Tune in. Black Power.